Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. In this opportunity, I will to present about prose novel analysis. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Syifa Andismah Zitta, and my ID number is 2017 3411066. So, novel details. The title of novel is Emma. The author is Jane Austen. The genre of novel is comedy of manners. Comedy of manners is a form of dramatic comedy that depicts and often satirizes the manners and affectations of a contemporary society. And the language is English. The publisher is John Murray, and the year publisher is 1816. Synopsis. Handsome, clever, and rich, Emma Woodhouse was so satisfied with her life that she felt she didn't need love and marriage. The only things that pleases him is to meddle in the love lives of others. However, when he ignored the warning of his best friend Mr. Knightley and trying to arrange for the matchmaking of Harriet Smith, his protege, all his actions were exposed and ended in unintended consequences. With imperfect but attractive characters and witty and sharp portrayals, Emma is often considered the best work of Jane Austen. Theme. The theme in this novel are marriage, self-knowledge, and class and gender oppression. Marriage is the linchpin of civilized society. The novel follows three couples who enter the marriage ordeal and emerge victorious. And the second, self-knowledge. When people face up to their character's flaws, Emma grows in self-knowledge is through the interaction of Mr. Knightley, who is willing to point out her follies and flaws. And the last, class and gender oppression. Emma woman's livelihood and ability to make choices are constrained by their obligation to marry well. Plot. Kind of plot. Flashback. Element of plot. Exposition. Emma and Mr. Woodhouse live in a big house. Emma and her dad mourn the loss of her mom, Miss Taylor. Generating. Emma realizes that she was horribly wrong to think she could make a match between Mr. Elton and Harriet, because not only are the two ill-suited to one another, but also Mr. Elton has had feeling for her all along that she intentionally or unintentionally failed to acknowledge. Rising action. Emma realizes that she is in love with Mr. Knightley after Harriet discloses the same to Emma. Climax. Emma and Knightley confess their feelings for one another. Knightley proposes to Emma, which Emma's intrusion has endangered, is secured as Harriet accepts Mr. Martin's proposal, and Jane and Frank prefer to marry. Resolution. Mr. Knightley marries Emma and Harriet marries Robert. Characterization. Kind of characters. Major and minor. Major are Emma Woodhouse and Mr. George Knightley. Minor are Mr. Weston, Jane Fairfax, Mr. Elton. Characteristics. Through the name Emma. Emma Woodhouse, handsome, clever, and rich. Page 4, line 1. Through appearance. Emma is pretty, clever, and rich. Emma Woodhouse, handsome, clever, and rich, with a comfortable home and happy disposition. Page 4, line 1, 2, 3. By the author. Emma was the youngest of the two daughters. She was the youngest of the two daughters of a most affectionate, indulgent father. Page 4, line 6. Dialogues. Emma disagreed to her dad. Poor Miss Tyler. I wish she were here again. What a pity it is that Mr. Weston ever thought of her. I cannot agree with you, Papa. You know I cannot. Mr. Weston is such a good-humored, pleasant, excellent man. Page 8, line 3 until 6. Action. Emma smiled and chat. Emma smiled and chat as carefully as she could to keep him from such thoughts, but when tea came, page 7, line 29 until page 8, line 2. Setting. Setting of time. Later in the morning. Later in the morning, and just as the girls were going to separate in a preparation for the regular. Page 100, line 10. The middle of December. Thought now the middle of December. There had yet been no weather to prevent the young ladies. Page 102, line 1 to 3. The evening. The evening was quiet and conversable, as Mr. Woodhouse declined cards entirely for the sake of comfortable. Page 122, line 16. Setting of place. Highbury. Highbury, the large and populous village, almost amounting to a town, to which Hartfield. Page 7, line 5. Mrs. and Miss Bates' house. They were just approaching the house where lived Mrs. and Miss Bates. Page 186, line 11. The Crown Inn. Their first post was at the Crown Inn, an inconsiderable house. Page 239, line 29. Point of view. Point of view in this novel is third person. Narrator tells us what individual characters think and feel, and who also provides insight and commentary. The example is, Mr. Weston was a man of unexceptionable character, easy fortune, suitable age, and pleasant manners. Page 5, line 17 until 18. Implication and philosophy. Implication in this novel is, you shouldn't try and change someone into what you want them to be. And the philosophy is, marrying the right person could help your social. Style. Diction. Simple diction. Well done, Mrs. Martin. Page 33, line 15. To be sure. Page 38, line 14. Colloquial diction. Pooh, Miss Taylor. Page 8, line 3. Figurative language. Hyperbole. She is a sort of elegant creature that one cannot keep one's eyes from. Page 208, line 9 until 10. Simile. He looked as if he fully understood and honored such a sentiment. Page 244, line 19. Sentence contraction. Simple sentence. While she was gone. Page 69, line 10. Compound sentence. Emma remained in a state of vexation too, but there was more. Page 81, line 11 until 12. Complex sentence. Emma never thinks of herself if she can do good to others. Page 14, line 20. I think my presentation of prose novel analysis is over. I hope you can enjoy it with my presentation, and if you have a question, you can ask me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.